Hi, do you think that your dreams are going to be possible? So many people right now are experimenting on those. So Dr. Joy Dispenza, he has been working on this consistently since last 20 years and he gives us hope. So let us talk about those three experiments that I am going to do with me. So let us get ahead and uh, go and talk about this. Hi, I am Sangeeta and I am a leadership growth mentor. I help you develop a resourceful influencing technique which you already have but don't know, which makes you one of 33 millions to achieve your success. Right now, that is a very practical thing, but what about the mindset? Dr. Joy Dispenza actually works on those. Now let me tell you about his first assumption. Miracles happen at the other side of the self-limiting beliefs and fear. That is what he says. The first thing, self-limiting beliefs and fear. The other side. If you cross that, then the other side is a miracle. That means what? It says that don't limit yourself into something very, very small. If you go beyond your belief system, it brings you near to your goals, near to the miracles that is happening. What I did, in 2010-11, I had been so contracted by my practical experiences that I was not able to dream anything. Then what I did, I love playing games, all of you might be. So what I did was I took an Excel sheet and I projected 4 times my salary. So that is the least one can do. And if you are working in an Excel sheet, you have that experience, then you will be knowing that it is very easy to put formulas into that thing. So what I did was my present salary and just multiplied it by 4, and every year actually I put 10% extra, and I couldn't do more than that. I could have put 10 times, right? Why I didn't do why I didn't do because that is again a self-limiting belief, because I thought I cannot go 10% more, right? So so who stops you? This was an Excel sheet, right? This was an Excel sheet. I could have put, if I put 4 times, and there was no logical reason. Like, say, there was no roadmap as to how I was going to do that. It was just an assumption. It was something that a miracle will happen. So I, I visualize myself achieving that kind of salary or income, whatever you can say. I achieved that. And I saw that Excel sheet about 3 years later. I was exactly there where I had written. So when you write down something on paper or on somewhere on which you can actually put your mind into that, your emotions into that. That is what Dr. Joy Dispenza and other spiritual workers are saying. So if you can bring your emotions into that, then actually it happens. Now, can we put our emotion into that? So, how can you do that? There is a roadmap to it. That is what he said. So, the roadmap is, suppose you are a very small personality, very small. Now, how do you grow? You grow by overcoming your first limiting belief, overcoming your first circumstance, isn't it? So there are, suppose, 100 restrictions that were there, even within my jealousy, my hatred, my anger, all were there. So you slowly, one by one, what you do is overcome obstacle number one, which makes you happy. So, in order to be able to dream, you need to be happy, right? You need to be happy. So, how do you happy? How do you become happy when you are in anger, where when you are in depression, where you are frustrated, or suppose you are in fight with somebody? You cannot, right? So, how do you avoid those anger, frustration, fight with the other person? By overcoming yourself. You have to let go of something. Don't put in mind about what the other person said. So that is the simple formula, simple technique to overcome your present mindset. But ho- when I say this, uh, many don't agree. Many don't agree. They say that it is the other person has created so much of problem for us. How is it? How can we forgive that person? That is what we say, right? But it is not that difficult also. Forgiving is something. Why do you forgive? If you think that that person has created some trouble, then you forgive, right? Then you think that it is some kind of fault that person has created, and he should ask for forgiveness, then only I can forgive, otherwise let him suffer. That is what we say. But suppose you start thinking that this event has happened, that person is there in your life because you had to learn something, because you hadn't learned beforehand, and now you have started learning something. If you think that way, then the other person is just a medium. It is a bigger picture, bigger drama that is happening, and the other person is just an element, just a pawn in that particular drama who is creating some trouble, and you needed to learn that lesson and you have already learned. So what lesson did you learn? That is the second thing. And this is the roadmap I am trying to tell you. When you overcome one after the other, all the limitations that you have had. Jealousy is the first thing. That is why I told you. The other thing is conflict, which we can overcome. Anger because of that. All these self-limiting beliefs, which why do we believe? Why do we care that the other person is creating trouble? Because we trust that the other person is saying the truth. The other person is not saying any truth about you. How can the other person know what you don't know yourself? So the other person is nothing, whatever he is saying or creating or anything. Some discomfiture, of course, it will happen. But what lesson did you learn? If you focus on the learning, then you will see that you have learned, and the moment you learn something, the other person is gone, and immediately your self confidence increases. So this is the second experiment that I have overcome, but I want you to overcome. But because we get into that kind of trap all the time, all the time. If I say that I have overcome that kind of mindset of being angry and being frustrated, it will happen till the time I overcome it fully. Because I'm not fully, if I'm not fully happy, that means I'm yet to learn the lesson, right? So that is the second thing. The third thing is, Dr. Joy Dispenza says that it is about bonding with the future. But how you can do the bonding with the future? Because it you can do this by imagining that your future is now, the better person that you are, that you will become one day. And let me tell my story. So I'm going to be a billionaire, and I'll be a world class person, and that person is not yet me, but my future person. And I am visualizing that person, how that person will be, the way she will be wearing the dress, sari maybe, the way she will be behaving, and people will be respecting her, the way she will be traveling, she will be walking, and other things, right? All those things I am imagining. So I ask you to imagine also. And let us do this experiment. And if you like this video, then please comment and reach out to me. Thank you. Thank you for watching.